Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 399 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's go over one bit of DCEU rumor that's been squashed by James Gunn. Now, we've talked about it that there were rumors that Zatanna may show up on the Suicide Squad, even being played by Emilia Clarke. Well, this is what James Gunn had to say today. I have nothing against Zatanna, but I have no idea where some of this stuff comes from. I have never even thought of including her in hashtag TSS, the Suicide Squad, nor many of the other characters I keep hearing are in the film. I can't comment on every rumor, but just know many aren't true. So, there you go. There you have it. James Gunn coming out and saying that Zatanna is not in his movie. And you can probably say that the other characters that he's referring to could possibly be Poison Ivy. So there you go. There you have it. And it kind of may be disappointing for some people who wanted to see Zatanna or having expand the whole universe. But I think right now it does seem like they're just going to introduce those few characters. I mean, they've got a ton of characters in the Suicide Squad. So I don't think they really need to go all out and expand it that much more. Although I was hoping for maybe, you can never know. You know, James Gunn and all these directors, they like to keep the cards to their chest. But for right now, if you were hoping for Zatanna to, or at least an announcement of Zatanna right on the get-go of the Suicide Squad, I'm sorry to say, she is not in this movie. And probably neither is Poison Ivy and other characters that are not on the list of characters that they've been talking about so far. But we'll see. I mean, I can't wait for him to actually finally come out with the whole slew of cast and crew members and just maybe in their costumes and actually present them out, kind of like how what David Ayer has done with that one picture that shows every single character, or at least, every single important character with the people that are, the actor and actress that are playing them in their costumes and on set. I think that would be pretty cool for that. But it always happens. We always go through these motions of rumors and who's in here and who's in there, especially when it comes to new DCEU movies. I'm not sure. And Marvel probably gets that same amount of excitement. I haven't really seen it because I'm more in DC, but this is something that we are accustomed to in our, DCU community. So that is pretty much it for that. There is one thing from Joker that I wanted to add, and this is something from Todd Phillips. Now, when questioned about being able to beat Marvel or being able to compete with Marvel, Todd Phillips did say this: "You can't beat Marvel. It's a giant behemoth. Let's do something they can do." Now, I tweeted this out because I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder said something very similar, and he did. It was an interview he had done for Man of Steel, where he kind of also mentioned, when someone asked him, does he think is he competing with Marvel, and he doesn't think so, and he would, and he feels like, a studio may think like that, and of course we know now that the studio did think like that, but he said that in a way that they should carve their own path.
Do you feel in competition with the Marvel films?
I personally don't. I think, the studio may feel that way a little bit because they're business people, and I get that. They're like, oh, well, they have a movie with a ton of superheroes. Where's our movie with a ton of superheroes? They have Iron Man. Where's our guy in a metal suit? Whatever. They actually haven't said that to me, but I can imagine though those conversations. I mean, that's not outrageous. I don't think I would not blame them for that, because I'd probably be saying the same thing if I were in their position. But I don't feel like I'm in competition with the Marvel movies, only because I think the way, and Chris and I talked about it a lot, and I think Warner Brothers really needs to, stay with what we do. Like after the Dark Knight trilogy and now this sort of restart of Superman, we have a tone that we're kind of into. And it works for us. It works for me, and it works for, I think, you know, the DC universe in a different way than.
Now, from that video that you just saw, it clearly had some things in mind, and as you know now, that from then till now, he had a huge, not a huge universe, but he had a set universe, a set movie timeline planned out that didn't really do what Marvel was doing. Now, eventually the studio did try to do standalone movies and try to build it up, trying to do the Marvel formula, and ultimately it failed in that department. And so now Warner Brothers is back doing what they should have been doing what Zack Snyder has said they should have been doing, which is increasingly good, increasingly interesting, being that this is what Marvel can't do. They can't go hard R. They can't do stories like this. They can't do standalone. They can't do director-driven films, right? Because of Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige wants to make sure everything within the MCU is connected. The tone is relatively about the same. He's controlling the character. He's controlling the overarching story for the characters, right? Which can actually kind of contain and kind of make the director not be able to do things and maybe not be able to do it successfully. And in a way, driving those comparisons with DC and Marvel. What they're trying to do, these directors like Todd Phillips and Zack Snyder, they're trying to step out of that. Trying to make you realize that there is a bigger other types of movies that they can produce with these comic book characters. We don't have to be like Marvel, or else it's going to be just like Marvel. Why try to beat them? Why even try to compete with them? Just do your own thing. Do your own movies. Make the movies you want to make. There may be some connectivity here and there, but ultimately you're in the control of your own destiny. Stop trying to be the other person. And with that same breath, stop listening to critics, especially the critics that are ragging on Joker right now because it's too not enough comedy, it's not fun enough. Are you kidding me? It's Joker. This is a character study. It's a Martin Scorsese type film. Are you kidding me right now? So this is something that has to be done, and it is something that the studios have to put their foot down and say, we are not going to listen to these critics. We're not going to listen to these bloggers. We're going to continue doing what we think is successful, and judging from what has happened at Venice and the strong mentality that it's going to win awards, Academy Awards and stuff. They got to just keep going on with it and keep trusting their directors, keep putting faith in what the material that they have agreed upon doing. And I think this could really spell good things for DCU, good things for DC films in general, and the variety that we'll be able to get. We won't get stuck into another type of Marvel Cinematic Universe just with DC characters. And there's going to be some here and there that will probably be like that, granted, but for the most part, it won't just be that. We'll get to have different flavors and enjoy different flavors of DC without just one flavor, which is the MCU. So I think that's great in terms of variety. Speaking of Zack Snyder, and the Snyder Cut in general, and I wanted to go over this, and it maybe gets a little tinfoily here and there, but remember that post that Ben W had put out where it says, "So are all the VFX done and everything?" And Jason says, "Oh man, if I just said these 2 words, you would freak out. I hope they leak it." And he put out with that sign with the release of Snyder Cut. Well, there was another thing that Instagram that Jason Momoa had put out, and of course his Instagram name is Pride of Gypsies, and he puts, "It's coming. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are expecting this to be the two words about the Snyder Cut, right? And it could be. Maybe it is. Maybe it's something to do with the Snyder Cut. Who knows at this point, right? What those two words that he was trying to say. Although when it says it's coming, it kind of contradicts the part where it says, I hope they leak it, right? Because if it's coming, then why do they have to leak it? Now, the other part of this, and I'm just being real, is that it's coming is associated with that graphic there that says On the Roam. Now, On the Roam is actually a production company of his. On the Roam, and it's on the website. You can go to it, www.ontheroam.com. On the Roam is a creative production company that produces scripted and unscripted original branded content, television series, and motion pictures. We are a creative collection of ambitious, brave, and innovative artists that share a belief in quality storytelling through a beautifully honest cinematic technique. So this is based in Los Angeles. They're capturing stories all over the world. They were founded in 2018 as a joint venture. With the between Ignition Creative, the entertainment industry's leading creative studio, and Pride of Gypsies, a boutique production company formed by actor-director Jason Momoa. So I think that's what he's referring to. Now, he's referring to his company. Maybe, possibly, it's coming, meaning there's something that they've created. I don't know if it's that new series that just I saw some trailers of called, I think it was called Seed or something. So it could be another a movie that he's making, some kind of store or television series or movie or whatever that's coming out with that in mind. I think that's probably more accurate to what he's saying it's coming, or hey, maybe I don't think so, but it would be kind of cool if he took on the pawn to complete the Justice League Snyder Cut. That'd be pretty sweet. And then when the Snyder Cut comes out, it would say in association or in partnership with On the Roam. But that's just me super wishing right now. But so that I don't know. So that's why I didn't really talk about it. I don't think that's any relation to the Snyder Cut, although that would be pretty cool if it turned out to be. But here's another one. David Garelli had posted on Vero also the words, "It's coming." #release the Snyder Cut. And lo and behold, guess who likes it? Mr. Zack Snyder himself. Now, if I were to put my tinfoil hat on right now and I'd be like, oh my God, hallelujah, it's coming, guys. He's confirmed it. It's coming. #release the Snyder Cut. It's coming. And it's the same words that Jason Momoa's used. It's coming. It must be coming. Something of that manner, right? And if I was a hopeful with the tinfoil hat on, that's what I'm going to say. But let's look at it on the other side for now. Let's look at it just look at it plainly for now and say, what is it he's looking at? If Zack Snyder pulled up Vero right now, he honed in on that two pictures, that picture right there of Bruce, and something's coming, something darker. Now that is an actual shot from the Snyder Cut in which Bruce is thinking about Darkseid. Darkseid's coming. So is Zack Snyder just looking at this as, yep, I shot that. That's exactly the point in the story where Darkseid's coming. Is he actually just looking at that, appreciating that David Garelli had, in a way, just showing a clip or a snapshot of his movie with those words, "It's coming"? I mean, maybe Bruce even kind of says that in the trailer scene, anyways, and so that's what he likes. If I were to be a calm, non-tinfoil-y person, that may just be what it is. But we cannot just say, hey, maybe it could be made, because who knows what is coming? Who knows if the Snyder Cut is coming? Who knows if all these clues and things and likes or what they all actually mean? And I think the only person that knows what all this actually means is Zack Snyder himself. He could possibly be the kind of man who doesn't even tell his friends or his cohorts what he's planning to do. He doesn't even tell them what he's been doing. I mean, there could be some days where he's in his office working on something and nobody but him and his wife knows about what he's working on. And I don't know. I mean, it just, that's the whole mystery of it. And that's why I'm very hopeful and optimistic, because we don't know the entire truth, and only one man knows that truth, and that is Zack Snyder. But I do know, just judging upon what he likes and not likes, and like I said, I don't really know what he needs, but just looking at what he likes and not likes on Barrel, he does intentionally like hashtag 214, hashtag 214 or bust. He does intentionally like those and not like others. So at this point, I think what he is trying to say is that he is still for his movie, The Snyder Cut. He is still interested in his movie, his version of The Snyder Cut, and he very much is interested that the 214-minute cut is his cut that he wants to be released. That's his version. That's what he wants. And essentially, I've seen 5 or 6 different areas where he does like posts where it says hashtag 214 or bust. So absolutely, I think what he's referring to there is that he doesn't intend anything but the 214. Whatever we've heard of how complete or non-complete any of those, it doesn't matter, because Zack wants this. Zack appears to want this. And whether it's coming or not, I have no idea. But what he wants to put out there is that fact. His version of the Snyder Cut is 214 minutes. He has shown Jason Momoa that cut. Jason Momoa has said it's done in a way, just not really saying it's done, but kind of saying, not in a direct way, but he's implying that it's done. Zack Snyder is implying that it's done. That's what they want us to kind of communicate. That's what I believe they are trying to communicate. Regardless of anybody's knowledge of whether it's complete or not, that is what Jason Momoa and Zack Snyder is trying to relay, trying to communicate, saying it's 214 minutes and it's done. So, if you guys want to continue to champion, to fight for the Snyder Cut, there is one way you can do it, and that is by sending our letters to Ann Sarnoff. Pretty soon, within a matter of days, there will be a lot more countries that will be able to send their letters to Ann Sarnoff, so it gets all in time, at least relatively in time, for a certain date, so that she gets all this mail on her desk with a load of Snyder bucks that we want to spend on Justice League Snyder Cut. So hopefully you're getting your letters ready, and hopefully you will be able to print out those Snyder bucks and get it going, wrapped up and ready to go. All right, guys. Well, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.